This video, we're going to talk about the first person that comprises the 4 core members of your team, and that's your real estate agent. We'll talk about who they are, what they do, why they're important, what to look for, how to find them, and anything else you need to know. So let's jump right in. So the first persona we'll cover here is your real estate agent. Your real estate agent is most likely to be the first person that you'll connect with when you're getting started because they're involved in the actual acquisition of a property. Real estate agents help sellers sell homes and they help buyers buy homes. They help facilitate the contracts, process the transaction, handle the negotiations between the buyer and seller, and advise whoever they're representing on how to best proceed. A good real estate agent is important because you can leverage their knowledge of an area, their connections, and their experience to make sure you have the best experience possible, as well as land the best deals possible. You should look for a real estate agent who's responsive, experienced, knowledgeable, and investor friendly. Additionally, you really want to make sure that your real estate agent is connected, which is super important when investing in a virtual environment, because this person is going to be someone that you're going to leverage to have access to their network of contractors, property managers, handymen, landscapers, cleaners, you name it. You want to make sure that they have all those connections, that you can leverage that and get that value from the relationship. Real estate in general is a very relationship-based industry. Your success in this business is going to depend a lot on your network. So your real estate agent is going to be someone who you rely heavily for that aspect. The overarching strategy when you're first getting started is to connect with as many agents as possible. And a simple way to do this is just to call the listings that you see on Zillow or any similar site. They'll have the listing agent. Typically, it'll include the phone number for the agent. I would give as many agents a call as possible when you're first getting started, if for no other reason, to build your network and have different options down the line for when you need contractors or connections. And really, this is your opportunity and an easy way to vet different people, to find who you like working with and who you don't like. You don't necessarily need to just have one real estate agent. It's very advantageous to have several, in my opinion. You're leveraging several networks instead of just one. In addition to simply calling agents, you can Google or you can check the forums like BiggerPockets to see about agents in a specific area. Put a message on a forum in BiggerPockets about getting a real estate agent. You'll have no problem getting messages back in short order. When you're looking at properties on Zillow, for example, and you see the listing agent and you give them a call, you can ask them about something called dual agency. Dual agency is where the seller's agent, who would be on the listing, represents both the seller and the buyer. As long as it's legal in the state that you're investing in, this is often a good idea when you're first getting started, so that you have the seller's agent working for you as well, and you're subsequently building your network at the same time. This is especially helpful when you don't have an agent already that you would use to submit offers. It can really streamline that process and get you going before having to lock someone in. Something to understand about agents is that they work off commission. So invariably, an agent will be incentivized to have you pay as much as possible. So you always want to take what an agent says with a grain of salt and make sure that over time you're able to build trust with someone who's authentic and has your best interests in mind. Even in those scenarios, though, I would say don't trust what an agent always says blindly. Ultimately, you are the one who needs to make the decision. Your agent is someone who just helps you guide your decisions. You should be relying heavily on your agent to inform you about different areas within your market, areas to avoid, areas to look at heavily for development, hot areas, so to speak. They should also be letting you know about gotchas around the different nuances that you might find in your market, permits, areas of importance on inspections, common repairs, that occur in the area. An agent who is familiar with the Section 8 landscape is helpful, although not necessary. At minimum, though, they should be aware of what goes into a Section 8 inspection. A strategy that's really effective with real estate agents is to utilize an agent who is also a property manager. Often states require property managers to be licensed real estate agents. The reason this is advantageous is because it means that the real estate agent who is instructing you on buying the property is also someone who is going to have to manage that property. And because they will have to manage that property, they will instruct you accordingly on a property that will be beneficial for them to manage. Said differently, if your real estate agent convinces you to buy something that they'll never have to see again, they're less likely to steer you away from bad areas or gotchas and be focused just completely on the sale. Whereas if a real estate agent is a property manager and they're the ones who are going to have to visit this property ongoing, deal with the tenants ongoing, they're going to make sure that you get a property that's quality in a quality area, if for no other reason, so that they don't have additional headaches as they manage the property. Overall, when you're first getting started, call as many agents as you can. Get in the habit of picking up the phone, dialing them, getting to know different people, seeing different styles, leveraging different networks, just making a ton of connections so that if you ever need a handyman, which you will, maintenance, recommendations on lenders, title companies, all of these things are things that a real estate agent should bring to the table in addition to helping facilitate the transaction of buying the property. Remember, you're not married to your real estate agent. You don't need to have just one. You can have a bunch of them, and you should have a bunch of them, so that you're leveraging those networks, getting that combined effect, and having as many connections as possible in the market that you're in, which is critical for success when investing remotely, because you're not there to make those connections. You're relying on your team to make them for you, which is why getting on the phone and connecting with as many as possible out of the gate is really important and something I can't reiterate enough.